Welcome to Premath. In this video tutorial, our topic is partial fraction decomposition. And here in the very first episode, we are going to talk about the intro to partial fraction decomposition. This is a process of breaking down a rational expression into sums and difference of simpler rational expressions. And one more thing, just keep in your mind that the partial fraction decomposition of a rational expression depends on the factors of the denominators. Make sure. Therefore, the partial fraction decomposition has 4 different cases that we will be studying later on. So we will look at each and every situation one by one with examples. And here is our case number 1. In this case, the denominator contains non-repeating, distinct, linear, keep in your mind, factors. Once again, in this case, the denominator contains non-repeating linear factors. And here are some of the very important examples for this case number 1. I would highly recommend you to pause the video and look at all these 10 of the examples. And I will be going over each and every example later on. And one more thing, just keep in your mind that the degree in the numerator must be less than the degree in the denominator. That is a very crucial part. And you can see in all of our examples, our degrees in the numerator is less than the degree in the denominator. And here is very first example. We are going to find the partial fraction decomposition of this given rational expression. So always whenever we want to find the decomposition, so look at these denominator, these 2 linear factors. Always just focus on how many you got. You just put down plus, okay, this is what I am going to do. The first factor is x plus 2. I put it down at the denominator and then put a plus sign, and then I'm going to put another one, x minus 3. So far so good. And on the top, we are just going to put down in the first over here a for this first fraction and b for the second one. And thus this is our partial fraction decomposition. And I will show you how to find the value of a and b later on. And here is our next example. Let's go ahead and do the same process. Once again, we are going to find the partial fraction decomposition. And as far as our denominators are concerned, we have 2 linear factors. I am going to write down x for the first fraction plus, in the second fraction, I'm going to write down x plus 1, as you can see. And then on the top, you just put down a for this first fraction and b for the second, and that is our partial fraction decomposition. And once again, I will show you how to find a values and b values later on. And in this next example, we're going to repeat the same process. Let's start off with that thing. Let's focus on the denominator. We have 2 linear factors. So I'm going to write down in the first fraction 2x minus 3, the first linear factor, then plus the second one is x plus 1. And then at the top, I'm going to put a for the first fraction and b for the second one, and that is our partial fraction decomposition. And here in our next example, we got 3 linear factors in the denominator. As you can see, That means we are going to put down three fractions. In the first fraction at the denominator is going to be x plus 4, and then I'm going to put down plus. In the second one is going to be x minus 5, and then plus. In the third fraction I'm going to put down x minus 7. So far so good. And then the next step is I'm going to put a in the first fraction on the top, b on the second one, and c on the third one. And that is our partial fraction decomposition. And once again I will show you how to find the value of a, b, and c later on. And here in this example, once again we are going to find the partial fraction decomposition. Once again we have two linear factors at the denominator. That means we're going to have two fractions. First at the denominator is going to be x, and the second is going to be 5x minus 4, and on the top it is going to be a for the first factor and first fraction rather, and b on the second one. And that is our complete partial fraction decomposition. And once again I will show you how to find a and b values later on. And for this next example, once again, as we can see that we have three linear factors at the denominator. We are only focusing at the denominator. So that means we're going to have a three fraction. The first one is going to be x minus 1 at the denominator, plus in the second fraction x plus 2, and finally x minus 3 in the third fraction. And now we are just going to simply put down a for the first, b for the second, and c for the third, and that is our answer. And now let's do this one, the next example. Once again at the denominator we have three linear factors, as you can see. So we are going to write down now 3x minus 1 for first one fraction, and then x minus 4 for the second one, plus, always put a plus sign in between these fractions, x plus 2. And your next step is we are going to put down a, b, and c, and that is our answer. And here is our next example. We are again going to focus on the denominator. Here you can see that x is our linear factor, but this x squared minus 9 is not linear. So let me write down x squared minus 9 right up here, which is a quadratic. I can write x squared minus 9 could be written as 3 square. And now this represents a difference of 2 square, isn't it? This one minus this one. So we're going to be using this fact, a square minus b square is always equal to a minus b times a plus b. So that means this could be simply written as x minus 3 times x plus 3. So far so good. So now over here, this is what I am going to do. I can write this fraction, this expression fraction, I can write 1 over x times this part, x squared minus 9 could be written as x minus 3 times x plus 3. So far so good. Now you can see that we got these three linear factors, isn't it? Now we are in good shape. And now let's go ahead and find the partial fraction decomposition. For first is going to be x at the denominator plus then x minus 3 at the denominator, and the for third fraction is going to be x plus 3. And then once again, for the first fraction, a is going to be on the top, for the second, b, and for the third, C, and that is our answer. And here in the next example, once again, let's look at the denominator part over here. This is quadratic, isn't it? And we can easily factor this one out. Let's go ahead and find the factors at the denominator. 8 is still going to be on the top, and this quadratics can be factored into two parts. That is going to be, the first one is going to be x minus 4, and the other one is going to be x minus 7, isn't it? So now we can see that we got these two linear factors, isn't it? So we got two linear factors. That means now we can easily find the partial fraction decomposition. The first fraction is going to be x minus 4, and then plus the second fraction, the denominator is going to be x minus 7, and on the top is going to be simply a for this one and b for the second fraction, and that is our answer. And here is our final example. Let's focus once again at the denominator, and we can see that we got a quadratic, isn't it? And we can see that this could easily be factored out. So let's go ahead and find the factors. On the top still is going to be x minus 19, and at the denominator this part could be easily factored out into two linear ones. The first one is going to be x minus 3, and the other one is going to be x plus 5, isn't it? And now let's focus on these two ones over here, these linear factors. We got two linear factors right now, these two. That means we are going to put down two fractions. The first one at the denominator is going to be x minus 3, and then plus for the second one is going to be x plus 5. And finally we are going to have a on the top and b for the second fraction. And once again I will show you later on how to find a and b values. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more exciting videos. Bye.